So what we'll do is we'll take off from runway 04 left, climb up to 1,000 feet, then at 1,000 feet we'll do a turn of 180 degrees and face the opposite direction, and we're going to travel out for about 10 miles. Then 10 miles we'll do the same 180 turn, line ourselves up with this exact same runway, and then we'll land the aircraft. Now you will find the controls will be very similar to what you've been flying already in those little experiences that you've mentioned. So yeah, pushing your left foot down on the left foot on the rudder pedal, steer left and right is right for you. You will find that, like in the other aircraft, it is quite sensitive. It won't need a huge amount of input to make the aircraft steer the way you want it to go. And the top part of the pedals will be the brakes as well for you. So you just want to make sure that your feet are resting on the bottom part for taking off, and then for landing, once we've stopped down, I'll get you to apply the brakes there for you. And then for taking off, as always, you want to be looking at the far end of the runway. I'll call out the speeds, and once we get to 135 knots, I'll say the word rotate, and then let go of the rudder pedals, and then just do a nice gentle pullback like this to get the aircraft up into the sky. Now the 737-800 has got semi-coordinated rudder, so you won't have to worry about doing any rudder input while we're airborne. All movements are going to be done on the hands whilst we're flying. And to demonstrate how sort of movements you've got to do, is going to be like these sort of movements just here, because you will find it is quite a fine line of either not putting enough input in, so like that for example, it won't really respond to that, or going a bit Formula 1 kind of style as I see some kids do every now and again. So that's going to be the first thing I'm going to help you to try and learn, master the sensitivity of the aircraft, because that will help you.
Can I try pulling back?
Yep, so pulling back, about that much is all you'll need, because we've set the aircraft quite light, so even though it weighs over 60 tonnes, fuel wise we've frozen it at half a tank of fuel, so we're not going to be burning any fuel whilst we're flying. And we've also set it for a low passenger number, so unless we're flying at a high altitude, a destination like Mexico City for example, you're going to find that the aircraft will pretty much lift up straight away when I say rotate, whereas in high altitude there will be that sort of slight sluggishness because of the air being thinner. But just to bear that in mind. So about that much is all you'll need to get it up in the sky. For landing, this is the bit that will always confuse people, because for about a good 7 or 8 minutes we say you've been using your hands to control the aircraft, but the moment we make contact with the runway, we're going to get you to let go of your hands and basically start using your feet again. Because as we say to people, if you start using your hands whilst you're back on the ground again, you'll still have enough engine power in that initial moment while you touch down to get yourself back up in the air again. And it's not unheard of. Some people have accidentally started steering it like a car, and then before we know it, we have to call go around again because we run out of runway. I'll make sure that you're keeping it nice and neutral on the hands, and I'll make sure you let go of the hands completely whilst we're back on the ground again. The throttles will be controlled by the auto throttles. So what I'll be getting you to do is to press this black button here called Toga, take off and go around. I'll get you to press that button, let go of the throttles, and then they'll automatically move themselves to the power setting we need to take off into the sky. And then basically whatever speed I'm dialing on here, that will be the speed that it will try and maintain, just like cruise control in the car. So as I said, we'll take off at 135, and then in that climb out to 1,000 feet, I'm going to ask the auto throttles to maintain a speed of 165, and then for the cruising stage, I'll get it to do 220 knots. But you won't have to worry about remembering those speeds. It's just to give you an idea on how fast you're going to be travelling today. So I'm just going to arm the auto throttles. So that green light says that the auto throttles is now armed, and that means Toga is now live.